Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining me in this live section. So guys, if you're new to this channel, do also hit that subscribe button, like and share this video. So guys, like I always say, if the federal government knows, if they know the consequences they will, get or they'll receive in the future for holding Kanu for a second in DSS detention, guys, they will not even hold him for a second, I'm telling you. If they know the consequences they're bringing for themselves for keeping Kanu there, they will not keep him for a second. Guys, Wole Soyinka has come out to say that Biafra can never be defeated. Biafra government can never be defeated. He's warning FG to release Nnamdi Kanu because he's innocent. And he said it clearly and boldly, even without even being scared of any being scared of Tinubu or anybody or in authority. He has come out to say that Biafra can never be defeated. I'm going to play a video for you guys to watch and see for yourself when Wole Soyinka came out and said that Biafra can never be defeated, and then warned federal government to release him immediately as he's an innocent man. So guys, Wole Soyinka has once again spoken the truth to power, declaring openly that Biafra can never be defeated, cannot be defeated. This comes at a time when the federal government continues its endless unjust detention of Nnamdi Kanu, a man whose only crime is demanding for the freedom and justice of his people. So Wole Soyinka has come out to say that Biafra can never be defeated. Never. It cannot be defeated. So now, this is happening when the federal government has continued. In fact, they have vowed not to release Kanu from DSS detention, even when he's innocent. They can't even prove he's a terrorist. So Wole Soyinka is not a man to waste words. You know who he is. He's a noble man. Everybody knows him. For him to come out and say that, just know that that's the truth. He said it plainly that Biafra is not an idea you can bury without court orders. They felt, keeping Nnamdi Kanu there, they're going to defeat Biafra government. It's a lie. I always say this thing a lot. Keeping Nnamdi Kanu there would not change what is at hand. Instead of the federal government to, tackle the cause root of the problem, which is the marginalization of the Igbos, instead of them to tackle the cause root, they are going ahead to detain a man that have not done anything to them. Wole Soyinka has come out to say that Nigerian government cannot bury Biafra. He has come out to say that Biafra can never be defeated. He said it plainly. He said Biafra is not an idea you can bury with court orders. Military operation or blackmail. I'm telling you, the Nigerian government has spent billions, deployed security forces, and ignored countless court rulings, all to suppress the will of the people instead of addressing the root causes of the agitation. That's one thing with our federal government. Imagine, do they think keeping Nnamdi Kanu there is going to bury Biafra, or is going to make Nnamdi Kanu weak and to forget or to back out? This thing will only bring more unrest. It will only cause more problem. Like I always say, if they know, or in fact, if they know the consequences they will receive in the future, they will not keep Nnamdi Kanu there for a second. There are a lot of consequences that is going to face Nigerians for detaining Nnamdi Kanu illegally. Instead of them to address the root cause of why they started agitating, they are going ahead to lock a man up for nothing. He has not done anything. Imagine. Wole Soyinka said it in his word. He said, according to what he said it plainly. Biafra is not an idea you can bury without court orders. I'm going to play a video for you guys to watch and hear what he said, guys. He said a lot of things concerning Nnamdi Kanu and Biafran government. He said, Biafra is not an idea you can bury without court orders. Military operations or blackmail. The Nigerian government has spent billions, deployed security forces, and ignored countless court rulings, all to suppress the will of the people instead of addressing the root cause of the agitation. What led to the agitation? Decades of marginalization, injustice, and broken promises. That was why the Igbo started. That's why Nnamdi Kanu started agitating. So instead of the government now to address the root cause, what made Nnamdi Kanu to start agitating? No, they went ahead to lock him, thinking that will solve the problem. That will only cause more problems and bring many protests and unrest in Nigeria. I'm telling you the truth. Now let's talk about Nnamdi Kanu. You guys know that he's the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. He was detained since 2021 under conditions that broke both local and international law. Nigerian courts has repeatedly ordered his release. The United Nations Human Rights Council has condemned his extraordinary rendition from Kenya. Yet, here he is in 2025, and the same government that claims to defend democracy keeps an unarmed man locked up, delaying trials, frustrating his legal team, and mocking the rule of law. You can see what is happening. They're just purposely delaying his trial. Purposely, a man that has not done anything. And the hypocrisy is glaring. The same federal government that pardons known looters, like they work freely. The same government that pardons terrorists, rehabilitates them, the so-called repentant terrorists, and pay ransom to kidnappers, is unwilling to dialogue with unarmed agitators demanding a referendum. They have time for bandits, but no time for justice. They have money for foreign trips, but no money for fair trials. That's one thing we face in this country, in Nigeria. As Soyinka rightly said, you cannot defeat an idea whose time has come. It's not possible. You cannot defeat an idea whose time has come. That's what Wole Soyinka said. You can jail a man, but you cannot jail a dream. Every day, Nnamdi Kanu stays unjustly detained. The federal government only threatens the very cause it wants to crush. Every time he spends there, every time he spends in DSS custody, the federal government is only threatening the very cause it wants to crush. Every postponed hearing, every biased judge, every act of intimidation against his lawyers only adds fuel to the fire. Like I always say, Nigerian government doesn't know what is ahead of them. They don't know the consequences they will face in the future. If they know, they will not keep that man there for even a minute. They won't. Wole Soyinka said that Biafra can never be defeated. That Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped. He said it without fearing anybody. Every postponed hearing, every biased judge, every act of intimidation against his lawyers only add fuel to the fire. History is watching, the world is watching, and the people are taking notes. If this government really believes in unity, then unity must be built on trust, fairness, and dialogue, not an iron bar or court adjournment. Wole Soyinka has spoken. The question now is, will the leaders in Abuja listen before it's too late? Many people have spoken, but they have claimed to, they have deafened their ear. Stubborn country. They go against the rule of law. Everybody is saying international people have talked. Still, they are still stubborn to admit the truth that he was illegally, brought from, in fact, kidnapped. Yes. And then after they said that he was illegally kidnapped, why is it that the court is not, channeling the judgment towards that part? Why is they're not the chief James or Motosha is not talking about that part? Why? Let's just strike out these terrorism charges because even up to now they cannot prove he's a terrorist. Let us know what you think in the comment section below. Let's know what you're saying. Should the federal government finally obey court orders and free Nnamdi Kanu? Don't forget to drop a comment under the comment section. Subscribe if you're new to this channel. Now let's continue. Now let's point out that Soyinka sees a government that loves to call itself democratic but has no respect for its own judiciary. Soyinka sees a government that loves to call himself democratic but has no respect for his own judiciary. I just laugh and see, the president's bragging that Nigeria, or bragging, celebrating Democracy Day in Nigeria. I just look and watch. What's this? You claim that you guys and Nigeria is practicing democracy, but you guys don't respect your own judiciary. Multiple courts, from the Nigerian Court of Appeal to regional human rights bodies, have ordered Kanu's release. Yet the federal government keep ignoring these rulings. This is not just lawlessness, it is an open contempt for democracy. Soyinka's words exposes the hypocrisy of preaching one Nigeria. Why are they even preaching this? What has one Nigeria, what is the change? One Nigeria, one Nigeria. All we have seen in one Nigeria is killings, hunger. Soyinka's words exposes the hypocrisy of preaching one Nigeria while treating certain regions and people as second-class citizens. You can't force you can't force unity with guns while ignoring cries for equality and fairness. You cannot force unity with guns. Go on said that. Go on. I was so disappointed. But even up to now, even after the civil war, you still came out to say this thing. Go on said that he by the Igbos to unite Nigeria. In fact, he said that was the only option he had then. Imagine. What does killing people have to do with unity? Are you trying to say that Igbos are not part of Nigeria? Or Igbo is not a tribe? You see how they are treating Igbos like second-class citizens. You can't force unity with guns while ignoring cries for equality and fairness. Guys, stay with me. I have a lot to show you guys. I have a video to show you guys of what Soyinka said. Stay with me. Now, criticize how much the federal government has wasted on endless military operation in the east instead of sitting down for meaningful dialogue. Billions that could fix road, build school and hospital are being poured into military checkpoints. Even the military checkpoint, they're even crying that they don't even have weapons or anything. So where all this money they are claiming they have put in military, wow, where is it? You spend money on security, but yet people are still dying. By detaining Kanu unlawfully, the federal government has turned him to a symbol of resistance. The very thing they claim to fear. Soyinka's warning is clear. Repression does not kill idea, it fertilizes them. So don't you know that the federal government is, really causing more problem for themselves by keeping Kanu there? They should release him because, he's an innocent man. Now, take a look at what Soyinka said. He said a lot of things, guys, concerning Nnamdi Kanu. Take a look.
Well, the first thing I have to say is that I said at the time, and this was what got me into serious trouble, because they felt that by making such statement, in fact, it was singled out. By making such a statement, I was trying to demoralize the federal side and actively promoting the Biafran cause. When I said and I wrote, I said, you cannot defeat Biafra. I said, and people thought I was merely talking of they took a very simplistic approach to understanding that. They thought I was talking about the battlefield, on the battlefield. Well, that was involved as well. Because when the people are determined, they are willing to sacrifice anything to preserve their identity. When they feel they are on a righteous cause, it's difficult to defeat them.
Yes.
If there's any, shall we say, military defeat, it's only temporary. The real issue remains unsolved.
I'll continue that video. So guys, you heard him say you cannot defeat Biafra when the people, is desperate and determined. You know why, people want Biafra? The Igbos are being treated like slaves. That is why they are killing them. That is why, Igbos really want Biafra and they are desperate and determined. So it's so hard for you to defeat them. You cannot defeat. In fact, Wole Soyinka is sending this message to federal government, to Tinubu, saying that you cannot defeat Biafra. I'll still continue that video, but for now, let me just interject in this one. So now, let's remind viewers that these same leaders who brand Kanu as a threat to national security are silent when herdsmen, terrorists, and kidnappers operate freely. Guys, in Nigeria today, these same leaders that said that Nnamdi Kanu is a terrorist, or Nnamdi Kanu, they branded him as a threat to national security. When it comes to herdsmen attacking terrorists, kidnappers, operating free, when they are operating, they don't talk, they stay mute, they stay calm. They stay mute, they stay calm. Soyinka is basically saying that if you can negotiate with bandits, why can't you dialogue with your own citizen who wants a referendum? Although Kanu said that he doesn't want any dialogue in the prison, that he demands justice and he needs to be, in fact, he must be released. That is what Kanu is saying. Then after the release, you cannot come with your dialogue, but he can never betray Biafran government for anything. That's just it. Release him before any dialogue, but he's assuring us that he cannot betray Biafran government. What else with the other time we heard that who was that self? David Umahi said that the federal government is ready to dialogue with Nnamdi Kanu. Can you imagine? after so many years. They're now coming as to say that the federal government is ready to dialogue with Nnamdi Kanu. So Nnamdi Kanu's team, okay, Nnamdi Kanu heard it, and then he sent his legal team to announce that he's not ready to negotiate with anybody. He demands justice. Release him. He has done nothing, and they know that they don't have anything against him. Release him before any negotiation, but he has vowed that he will never betray Biafran government. So Soyinka knows how the world sees Nigeria. The illegal detention, redemption from Kenya, and the FG's removal to obey the UN working group decision have painted Nigeria as a banana republic. Yes, that cherry picks which law to obey. Now, let's highlight that Soyinka is not just any critic. He's a respected elder statesman who risked his life fighting dictatorship. If this government can ignore someone like him, who would they not listen to? Soyinka's deeper message is that clapping down on Kanu only radicalizes more young people. The FG stubbornness is sowing seed of unrest for the next generation. See, the fact that the federal government is so stubborn to admit the truth that truly Kanu, they're actually wrong by adopting Kanu from Kenya is only sowing seed of unrest. They're not doing themselves any good. They're even worsening the case. They're putting more fuel to fire. The only thing, in fact, even an APC member has come out to advise Nnamdi Kanu, saying that, see, he advised Tinubu, not Nnamdi Kanu. An APC member came out to advise Tinubu, saying, if you know what is good for yourself, Tinubu, release this man now. Like I said, if they know the consequences they will face in future, Nigerian government, they will rush and release him today, guys. They don't know, they are not aware. Why are they keeping him there? They are just scared of his words. Now, somebody says something. He said, freedom for Nnamdi Kanu, freedom for Biafrans, and Oduduwa Republic. These are, groups that are agitating, that call it. See now, right now, everybody wants to secede. Nobody wants one Nigeria again. What has one Nigeria brought us? Yoruba people, they want to go. Even Arewa, Hausa people. The last time, Hausa people was like, they don't care. They don't want one Nigeria again. These are people that never wanted to hear anything about, seceding. They wanted one Nigeria, but right now, they don't even want to hear anything about one Nigeria. They want to succeed. Go to the north and see how they are killing them. Go to Edo IDP camp in Edo and see how thousands of people that are there displaced. Nobody wants one Nigeria again. One Nigeria has only brought suffering, hardship. Mention them. So now Yoruba wants to go, Igbo wants to go, Hausa wants to go, Ijaw wants to go. There's Ijaw Republic. Everybody wants to be on their own. We are tired of this one Nigeria. We are tired. APC's promises has failed. In fact, APC has failed as a political party. All of them, all this Nigerian government, they have failed. Imagine, no means of survival in this country. We don't want one Nigeria again. We want to succeed. That's the only thing that can better our life. Let everybody go. Let everybody be on their own. So now, Soyinka's deeper message is that clapping down on Kanu only radicalize more young people. The federal government's stubbornness is sowing seed of unrest for the next generation. Somebody said, one Nigeria is a scam. One Nigeria is a big scam. They should stop deceiving. The only thing the government will tell you is one Nigeria, let's unite Nigeria. Don't believe these people. It's a scam. It's a scam. How can they claim one Nigeria and then they'll watch and see bandits, foreigners? Because yes, many people have come out to say that these people are actually foreigners that came from Niger. These people, they came from Niger to terrorize Nigeria. How can you, sit and then you look at people by your people and you're not saying anything about it? Nobody should be afraid to speak up. Do you know only thing that will help us? It's not about leaving the country. I know that Nigeria is not a good place to be, but leaving the country will not solve any matter. Let's all, if 200 million Nigerians stand up and demand an end to this bad governance, honestly, these corrupt personnel up there will surrender. It is high time for them to step down. They have done enough. Are they not tired? You will see old men of 80-something still leading Nigeria. Why? still leading Nigeria. So what are the youth? What are the youths now doing? They will rig themselves into power. Before they even do elections, they've already stamped who will be their president. We don't need them again. We want everyone should be on their own. Please, they should release Nnamdi Kanu. Just obey your law and release that man because he has done nothing. Soyinka's statement touches the raw wound of long-lasting Igbo marginalization from the Civil War till today. Igbos, even up to today, are still marginalized. Yes, they are treated like slaves. From this even till now, even after the Civil War, Igbos still, feel marginalized. They don't treat them equally. They treat them like second-class citizens. Instead of addressing the wound with fairness, the FG uses force and intimidation, still going down to lock up their leader. Soyinka's indirect jab is, why is the federal government so afraid of simple referendum? Why? Why are they so afraid? If you truly believe Biafra is not popular, then give the people a chance to say so at the ballot, not with bullets. Now take a look at what Soyinka said. So before we look at that video, somebody said something. Let's look at it. So it says here, this person said, Kanu is a voice nobody can shift aside. He is the identity of truth and reality, of reality, time and season for federal government. Now, to do the needful, freedom is national, is for everyone, no matter your tribe. Now, this person is actually very, very correct. See, Soyinka said that you cannot silence a dream that, something that it's, for it to happen is already near. In fact, it is time for Biafran governments for Biafrans to have their own government or to have their own independence. It's time. You cannot bury that idea. He has said you cannot defeat Biafrans. You cannot defeat Biafran government. See, he said Wole Soyinka said Biafra is not an idea you can bury without court orders or with court orders. That's just it. You cannot, stop something that his time has already come. Its time has already come. You cannot stop it. People are desperate. People are determined. So it's hard. Take a look at this video.
Well, the first thing I have to say is that I said at the time, and this was what got me into serious trouble, because they felt that by making such statement, in fact, it was singled out. By making such a statement, I was trying to demoralize the federal side and actively promoting the Biafran cause. When I said and I wrote, I said, you cannot defeat Biafra. And people thought I was merely talking of they took a very simplistic approach to understanding that. They thought I was talking about the battlefield, on the battlefield. Well, that was involved as well. Because when the people are determined, they are willing to sacrifice anything to preserve their identity. When they feel they are on a righteous cause, it's difficult to defeat them.
Yes.
If there's any, shall we say, military defeat, it's only temporary. The real issue remains unsolved.
So now, Soyinka is rightly saying that you cannot defeat an idea whose time has come. You can jail a man, but you cannot jail a dream. It's not possible. No matter how long they keep dragging this case, no matter how long they keep, suppressing this case, you cannot bury this idea of Biafra. You cannot bury Biafra. The time has come for Igbos to, be on their own. The time has come and you cannot bury it. Every day, Nnamdi Kanu stays unjustly detained in DSS custody. The federal government only strengthens the very cause it wants to crush. So what this person said, she said, Kanu is a voice nobody can shift aside. He is the identity of truth and reality, time and season. For federal government to do the needful, let me come again. It says, Kanu is a voice nobody can shift aside. He is the identity of truth and reality, time and season. For federal government to do the needful, freedom is national. It's for everyone, no matter your tribe. No matter your tribe. So you can see that the time has come the time for Biafra has come and nobody can stop it. They feel keeping Kanu there or delaying, just like yesterday, Kanu was in court. Now they have adjourned it to 10th October. They keep adjourning. Even an Hausa man came out, surprisingly to everyone, to say Kanu must be released. Release Kanu. Wanting Tinubu to release Kanu. Imagine an Hausa man that never wanted to hear anything, or Northerners that never wanted to hear anything about Nnamdi Kanu is coming out and release him. These people keep adjourning the case. Adjourning it that it is not a man's life. Keeping an innocent man there for no reason. After you brought witnesses, the evidence you brought can't even hold water. None of them is credible to prove that Nnamdi Kanu. As a matter of fact, whether you like Nnamdi Kanu or not, or whether you like his idea, that man has not been convicted of any crime. He's still innocent. For so many years, he's still innocent. And he will always remain innocent because he's an innocent man. Imagine, look at terrorists. They keep silent. It's not obvious to everyone that this man is innocent. Look at what is happening in the country. The government is silent. But when it comes to Nnamdi Kanu's case, they want to clamp down on it. So you can see what we are seeing in Nnamdi Kanu's case. No matter how long they keep him there, justice must be served. Yes, justice must be served. No matter how long, it will not still break him down. People were thinking, or Nigerian government were thinking that, if they keep him there for so long, if they delay his case and he remains in detention for so long, maybe he would back out and, he will stop the agitation. But no, even in prison, his voice is loud for everyone to hear. His voice is so loud for every single person to hear in this country, even outside the country. Yes, he's already even giving him more supporters. Keeping him there is already bringing to himself more supporters. Currently now, you see what is happening. Nobody wants Nigeria again. Nobody wants Nigeria. By detaining Kanu unlawful, the federal government has turned him to a symbol of resistance. The very thing they claim to fear. Soyinka's warning is clear. Repression does not kill idea. It fertilizes them. It fertilizes them. Now, imagine that these same leaders who branded Kanu as a terrorist or a threat to national unity are silent when headsmen, terrorists, and kidnappers operate freely. Soyinka is basically saying that if you negotiate with bandits, why can't you dialogue with your own citizens who want a referendum? Now, somebody said something. To make Biafra a success, we must begin to do away with what makes Nigeria a failure. Draft and justify a people-oriented constitution. Okay, let me read that again. It says, to make Biafra a success, we must begin to do with what makes Nigeria a failure. What makes Nigeria a failure? Corrupt leaders. Right? Corrupt leaders. They don't even obey. The kind corrupt leaders don't even obey the constitution. Because I believe if people that know what they are doing is there, they will obey the law. Because what does the law say? That the father Kanu was brought from Kenya, kidnapped from Kenya to Nigeria. That is illegal and his trial is invalid. That's what the law says. So I believe that if we had people that, they are not corrupt, they will obey the law and Kanu will not be in prison by now. So this person said, to make Biafra a success, we must begin to do away with what makes Nigeria a failure. Now, how do we push out these people from seats? The only thing now is that we need to clear off these people. Like, we are tired of their administration. There was this coalition during the time of Goodluck Jonathan. There was this coalition that gave birth to APC. APC that is showing no shake, that doesn't want to obey the law, that breaks their own law. So this coalition, it gave birth to Buhari and APC. So this is the same governments that have held Nnamdi Kanu for so long. So now the only thing we need to do now is to, first of all, remove all these people from seats. And that is why you see currently now they are forming coalition to unseat Tinubu. People are saying, why are we disturbing? Imagine David Umahi coming out to say that why are we disturbing Tinubu about Nnamdi Kanu? Was it him that kept him there? Oh, but your administration inherited an illegal detention of a man. Your administration inherited. In fact, Tinubu was part of the people they called that planned. Tinubu was part of the people they called that IPOB mentioned that planned to adopt Kanu. And his administration also inherited an illegal detention of a man. Even when Kenya court has said the law has said, still you still kept him there. These people know what they are doing. They are playing with Kanu. They are keeping him there so that he will be in detention while election is on. That is just it. We need to, bring down, push these people from power. We don't need them again. That is why you can see that they are forming coalition. But what we are scared of in this coalition is people that gave birth to APC and Buhari are still in this new coalition they are forming to bring down Tinubu. The only person that I know that is there that, okay, we actually, we actually trust kind of is Peter Obi. So I believe if a good person is there ruling Nigeria for a very long time. In fact, Nnamdi Kanu's trial is not supposed to be on. It's not supposed to be on at all. So somebody said, what if there's an external force? Why are the elected officials not speaking up? Because they have their plans. Which kind of elected official? Everybody knows how the president entered into seats. So you can see, they don't care about the people who voted for him. What we are praying is, when Donald Trump actually won election for his second term, we were thinking everybody was happy, even the Igbos. In fact, there was jubilation in the East. We were thinking that Donald Trump will, immediately enter and then see to Kanu's case. See the fact that, Nigerian government disobeyed international law and then, do something to release Nnamdi Kanu. But even up till now, nobody is saying anything. International voices. The only thing they come out to say that he should be released, and then no action is taken. So right now, the lawyers have said that if Kanu is not released on the 10th, that they postponed his trial to 10th. If he's not released on the 10th, that they will start their own defense. They will bring international witnesses to come and testify against the federal government, the fact that he violated international law. And let's see if Kanu will be released. Let's see if he'll be released that way. So now, the elected officials, not Tinubu that is the elected official and, other people, even Eastern governors are not even talking. They're not talking. Now, somebody said another thing. Let's take a look at what this person said. He said Nigeria should push for the release of a man that has honest opinions concerning Nigeria. Give Kanu his Biafra Republic. This is what this person is saying. This is all we are telling the federal government. And I'm asking, why is it that Nigeria cannot obey their law? Please, is it a big deal? Like, where will it take Nigerian government from obeying what the law says? I don't know if you guys are getting me. Is it just to tell you that there is something, they're not just holding Nnamdi Kanu because he's a criminal. Guys, if Nnamdi Kanu is truly a criminal, they will obey the law and jail him. They will obey that law and jail him. He's not a criminal. Why is it that they cannot obey the law and release him? Because how can the law be saying something, how can the law be saying something and they're doing otherwise? This person said, Nigeria should push for the release of the man that has honest opinions concerning Nigeria. Give Kanu his Biafran Republic. That is all we want. In fact, Kanu said, life, let me tell you, anyone that is in Nigeria today, everybody is in bondage. And there's no freedom in Nigeria. And life without freedom is meaningless. That's what Kanu said. He said, that as you see him like this, he's already dead. That the only thing that can revive him is Biafra. Hey, let me tell you, if you're in Nigeria today, you're not at peace. They said, okay, IC Fayoshe said something that made a lot of sense. He said that people are saying Buhari is dead. They are saying, why are we not wishing him rest in peace? I say, that's him that is alive in Nigeria. Is he at peace? You will stay, you leave your house. You're not even sure of coming back. Bad guys might buy you on the way. You want to travel. You might meet kidnappers on the highway. So you can see that even there's no peace in Nigeria. Anybody that's in Nigeria, you're caged. You're just like you have been kidnapped because they have caged you. You can't even talk. That's the worst part. You can't even come out and voice out to speak up. If you speak up, they will arrest you. That's one thing Nigeria is facing today. So according to what this person said, Nigeria should push for the release of a man that have honest opinions concerning Nigeria. Give Kanu his Biafran Republic. Kanu had honest opinions. He's not a criminal. Remember, he was advising our Hausas of this Fulani, warning them of the dangers of these Fulani people. What is happening now? You know, they ignored it, and look at what's happening. It's the same Northerners that are running away from them now. It's the same Northerners. He was advising Nigerians as a then. How can cows still be roaming around in 21st century? How can cows? You can see that somebody said that these cows that you see, you know, that these Fulani people are taking up and down, that these cows belongs to a Nigerian government. That is why when a Fulani man comes out and tell you that if a cow goes down, that is going to buy 150 Nigerians, did the government say anything? Did they threaten him? We're in trouble in this country. We're in big trouble in this country. Bad guys will be killing people, they won't say anything. DSS will not go after them, but they'll go after Nnamdi Kanu, who has done nothing. Okay, if this man have done something, why can't you like tell the world this is what he has done? You show evidence, and then you jail him. But if he has not done anything, release him now. It's a problem. They are scared of him. They are scared of him. Soyinka knows how the world sees Nigeria. The illegal rendition from Kenya and the federal government's refusal to obey the UN working group decision have painted Nigeria as a banana republic that cherry picks which law to obey. Now, Soyinka highlighted that this is not just he's not a critic. He's a respected, Soyinka is not somebody that will come out and be, you know, talking anyhow. He's a respected elder statesman who risked his life fighting dictatorship. If this government cannot ignore someone, it can ignore someone like him, who would they now listen to? Soyinka's deeper message is that clamping down on Kanu only radicalizes more young people and federal government stubbornness in sowing seeds of unrest for the next generation. Now, Soyinka's statement touches the raw wound of the long-standing Igbo marginalization from the Civil War till today. Instead of addressing these wounds with fairness, the federal government uses force and intimidation. Lastly, Soyinka indirect jab is why is the federal government so afraid of, you know, referendum? If you truly believe Biafra is not popular, then give the people a chance to say so at the ballot, not with bullets. Take a look at this video. Take a look at what Soyinka said. I want to continue the video I played initially. Take a look.
For me, quote unquote, kidnapped. You can say intercepted as much as you want, but I think that Kanu was kidnapped, and that is wrong internationally, and it's wrong.
Carried too far. The Nnamdi Kanu question is very dear to our people. That's why I met him, and we fixed an appointment. He said, bring the leaders. I brought the leaders of Southeast. Late Chukwemeke Ezife, Mbazulika Mechi, Bishop Onoha, Godio Wazulika of Aki Kenga, he was the president, and myself. And we went and discussed. That was how these leaders were given access to.
Well, the first thing I have to say is that I said at the time, and this was what got me into serious trouble, because they felt that by making such statement, in fact, it was singled out. By making such a statement, I was trying to demoralize the federal side and actively promoting the Biafran cause. When I said, and I wrote, I said, you cannot defeat Biafra. I said, and people thought I was merely talking of the, you know, they took a very simplistic approach to understanding that. They thought I was talking about the battlefield, on the battlefield. Well, that was involved as well. Because when the people are determined, they are willing to sacrifice anything to preserve their identity. When they feel they are on a righteous cause, it's difficult to defeat them.
Yes.
If there's any, shall we say, military defeat, it's only temporary. The real issue remains unsolved.
So there's something Soyinka said I want to even address, or I want to talk about it. So Soyinka said that there was a time he, you know, talked about Biafra movement. You know, people were, federal governments were seeing it as if you want to demoralize, you know, FG and then fully support Biafra. And then he wrote and responded to them that you cannot defeat Biafra. Yes, because people are desperate and determined. You cannot defeat an idea that has come to stay. The idea that has come to stay. You cannot bury the Biafran movement with adjournment or with delayed trial. No, it's not possible at all. It's not. This is what Nigerian government doesn't know, and if they know the consequences that they will face in future, they will release him today, today, today. That is just it. They will release him today, today, today. Now, this is idea. This is not a region. Biafra is not only about land, it is an idea rooted in people's hearts. Ideas cannot be bombed out of existence. You can suppress a protester, but you cannot kill a man's, or you cannot kill a people's collective memory of injustice and the dream for self-determination. You can kill a man, you can even suppress a protester, but you cannot kill a people's collective memory of injustice and the dream for self-determination. The old wounds of 1967 to 1970, that's the Civil War, were never healed. Showore said that if he's going to be the president of Nigeria today, that he's going to come down to the southeast and beg them, to forgive Nigerian government for what happened in 1967 to 1970. Guys, Igbos were truly massacred. It's not about this thing really happened. They treated Igbos like slaves. Go on. Treated Igbos like slaves. Died more than 5 million people. Even up till now, Igbos are still seen like second-hand citizens. The old wounds of 1967 to 1970, that's the Civil War. Now, let me now break something down for you guys. I want you guys to know that Nigerian or Biafra Ojuku or Igbos, let me just use it, let me generalize this, Igbos or Igbo people, they were in support. They were truly in support of one Nigeria. They were in support of one Nigeria. That is why Odumegwu Ojukwu, Chukwuemeka Ojukwu, was present in that peace meeting in the Aburi Accord. Now, let me now let you know that this Aburi Accord would have given Igbo states security. And then British colonial headmasters and they did not want that security, they don't want the East to have security. And then what did they do? They don't want the East to have security because it's going to limit them, because they will not have access to Igbo's resources. And then what happened? After the Aburi Accord, which Odumegwu Ojukwu, Ghana president, and then Gowon was present at that meeting. Now, the presence of Odumegwu Ojukwu shows that they were in support of one Nigeria as at then. But what happened when after the peace meeting, after the conclusion, they had peace there, they never talked about Biafra. After everything, when Ojukwu came back when Gowon came back to Lagos, Nigeria, he overturned the agreement, he changed everything. He was not taking action according to what they said in that meeting. Now, what happened? He overturned the agreement and then he went after the Igbos. Ojukwu was saying, Aburi Accord we stand. Gowon was saying, Aburi Accord you have failed. And then he went ahead and started buying the Igbos, just like that. Buying over more than 5 million Igbo people. And you want Igbos to fold their arms and be looking at you. So you see, what Nigerian government are saying now is that, the Igbo or Nnamdi Kanu wants to purposely break up Nigeria without even addressing what led to the agitation. You're not addressing what made Nnamdi Kanu, because he did not just wake up one morning or overnight to come and start talking about Biafran government. No. Something happened. Igbos are marginalized politically. How many Igbos are senators? How many Igbos are senators? You can see how the way Igbos, they treat Igbo people. That was what made Nnamdi Kanu to demand for the freedom of his people. And then they went ahead to arrest him. See, they cannot bury an idea that has come to stay. They cannot. The only thing now, everybody is wanting Tinubu, even Nigerian government, to release Nnamdi Kanu. Release Nnamdi Kanu, because he has not done anything. He has not done anything. Now, let's continue. Before I take some reactions coming from, you know, viewers. Now, Biafra is now championed by a new generation who were not alive during the war, but they carry the same anger because of the marginalization never stopped. Even after the civil war, they never stopped they never stopped persecuting or marginalizing the Igbos. They never stopped it. Marginalization never stopped. Marginalization of the Igbos never stopped. This new generation is a tech savvy, connected globally, and harder to silence. Now, the old wounds of the 1967 to 1970 civil war were never healed, from abandoned properties to broken promises, or no victor, no victor. The injustice keeps the spirit of Biafra alive. Every new betrayal renews the core. Now, every crackdown, military raid, or unlawful detention like that of Nnamdi Kanu proves to the people that they are not wanted to the so-called one Nigeria. For many Igbos, Biafra is also a matter of pride and identity. It has become part of the cultural consequences. Songs, flag, literature all keeps the memory alive. You cannot erase a people's identity by force. They cannot erase Kanu's identity by keeping him in detention. The only thing that they would do, if they do that, that means they are bringing more problems to their self. Every abuse by FG, from extraordinary redemption to disobeying court orders, earns Biafra's sympathy abroad. Diaspora communities amplifying the struggle globally, raising awareness that no propaganda can kill. Despite neglect, the Southeast remains one of the most industrious regions. Hope you guys know that. Despite Igbos have been neglected, but still, the Southeast still remains one of the most industrious region. Let's this is a practice. We are seeing this is reality. It's not like we are just saying, from our mind. It's reality. Imagine what happened in the civil war. Even the money you had then, they seized all. That was how Igbos were treated. Wickedness. They seized all. But guys, today, Igbos are doing well. Even how they're even marginalized infantry today. When an Igbo man goes to the north to reside, you will see him, he will rent a house, own different properties. I'm not trying to say that the northerners are not trying, but it's something that is happening right, nowadays. But when you say a northern man come to the east, some of them don't even have a house. Yes, some they don't have a house. Some don't even buy land. Maybe they prefer, is it that they prefer owning properties in their own state? But I'm trying to say that Igbos, whenever they live there, wherever they are, they stand out. Wherever they find themselves, they stand out. They do well for themselves, even when they are neglected, but still they are doing well. Despite the neglect of Southeast remains one of the most industrious region. Their economic strength means they can sustain themselves, and this fact fuels the arguments of self-governance. See, if Igbo stay on their own, they will do well. They will do very well, even when they are neglected. Look at how industrious and productive they are, doing. If they stay on their own, they're going to do well. So attempts to divide the people by infiltration of leadership sabotage often backfire. Even when IPOB is proscribed or leadership is attacked internally, the core sentiment remains the demand for freedom does not demand one leader. When the courts, the UN, and international human rights group all says the same thing, that the federal government is wrong, it gives Kanu moral high ground. It's no longer just an internal matter, but a human rights question. The federal government's refusal to include the Southeast meaningfully in national politics, no key appointments, no federal presence. It shows people that they are unwanted guests in their own country. The alienation keeps the struggle alive. You cannot kill a man. You can ban a flag. You can silence a radio station, but you cannot defeat a people's will to be free. No matter what they happen, even if let them keep adjourning this case, justice must be served. It will not still back, people were thinking that when Ojukwu died, that Biafran government would die as well, Biafra would die as well. But no, Nnamdi Kanu took it up. Until today, his voice is still loud. So no matter what happens, it will not still kill Biafra movements. They're only putting more tension and causing more problem for themselves. Now, Nigerian government are the main terrorists. Believe me when I tell you that Nigerian government are the main terrorists. How can you say a man is a terrorist and you have not found him with even a common knife? The only weapon, the only thing they found Nnamdi Kanu with is his radio Biafra, his mic, his radio Biafra, his transmitter. They have not found him with any. How can you call at first? The judge cannot even say, why will you go at first of calling this one a terrorist when you have not seen him with any weapon, when you have not even seen him clearly, personally ordering for chaos? So what makes him okay, let's ask ourselves now, what makes Kanu a terrorist? What is making Kanu what is the thing that makes Kanu a terrorist? Nothing. Just that he uses his radio Biafra to expose Nigerian governments, officials, corrupt personnel. That is why they have gone after him to lock him up. Why are they scared in releasing him when the law says he should be freed? Kanu has not done anything to be jailed. Why don't you release this man and let Nigeria move forward? In fact, Kanu was not just only coming for the Igbos. He was coming for other tribe as well. Yes, believe me when I said that. Do you know that he has been warning the northerners of the dangers of the Fulani men? He has been warning to say that he was not just only interested in the Igbos, but was also interested on the peace. With Igbos don't want problem. Igbos don't want problem. We really want peace. That's just it. We only want peace in this country. We don't need problem. Kanu was in court yesterday, and then we are all disappointed in what happened in court. How how Nigeria's justice system is very corrupt personnel, very corrupt personnel. We still stand with what Soyinka said, that Kanu or Biafran government can never. You can defeat Kanu, which I know is very, very impossible. You can defeat him because anything can happen in detention. You see what they are doing. Nnamdi Kanu is a human being just like any other person. He has been there for so many years. Do you know the trauma he'll be passing? Do you know the depression he'll be passing? Anything can happen. But now let Nigerian government know that no matter what they do, it doesn't still guarantee anything, or to say that the idea of Biafra will die or will be buried. It doesn't still guarantee anything. No matter how they delay this case, because Nnamdi Kanu is just a woman, he's just a human, he's a human being. No matter how they detain him, justice must be served. And if anything happens to that man in court, there's going to be a big problem. Or if anything happens to him in detention, there'll be a big problem in Nigeria. Kanu have said it, that if they like, they should add another extra year to him in this place he is. That as far as he knows that he's doing this thing for his people, that justice must be served. He has stayed there for, imagine a man staying in detention for so long like this, and an innocent man that have not done anything. You can't even point out, you call him a terrorist, you cannot point out that he's a terrorist. He has been there for so long. People were thinking that he'll be released yesterday, which was the 18th of July. But guys, no. George went on vacation. Imagine, of all days, today, yesterday was the day. So James Omotosho decided to go on vacation. Or that is when the court decided that the judges will go for vacation. They actually postponed it to 10th of October. Now take a look at what happened. In case the lawyer came out and said a lot of things that I feel we need to know. Take a look.
Please, what happened is this. Today, we made a no case submission. The meaning of no case submission is that the trial or the case or witnesses or evidence presented by the prosecution since this trial commenced in March this year did not rise to the level of Nnamdi Kanu stepping into the dock to enter his defense. We did that in writing, and we also supported it with a verbal presentation today. And the government made a counter presentation as well. Today, unfortunately, happened to be the last day of the sitting of the judge handling this case before he proceeds on vacation for 2 months. So the case has been set down for ruling on the no case submission for October 10th. If the ruling goes in our favor, Nnamdi Kanu will stand discharged or acquitted. If it doesn't mean he has been convicted, but he will be called upon to enter his own defense. And that is when you are going to see the defense we are going to enter, if at all necessary. We have not entered our defense since the beginning of this case because the procedure has not come to that point. And we pray and hope that it will never do. That on the 10th, the matter will be over. But if perchance it doesn't, we are ready to proceed on the floor upon to do so. Thank you very much.
So, guys, the lawyer came out, to tell everyone what transpired in court yesterday. According to what he said we were thinking yesterday that Justice James Omotosho is going to rule on what they call no case submission. We thought that he's going to give his final judgment based on what they filed as no case submission. No case submission means that they are trying to tell the judge that there are so many witnesses and then none can prove that our leader is a terrorist. Onyendu, our leader is a terrorist. So they said they are saying that the judge should dismiss this case entirely. That is what it means by they filed a no case submission. And we're expecting today that Justice James Omotosho is going to reply on what they filed as no case submission. But unfortunately, they actually judge said he's going on vacation, and then they had to postpone the case again to October. That's like 2 months. So Nnamdi Kanu will still be there for another 2 months again. This is a human being. No. This is a human being. This is not an animal. This is a human being. No. This is what they don't know. And he has not done anything. That's the worst part. If Nnamdi Kanu is a criminal, nobody will be talking. But it's innocent. If it's not innocent, bring out your proof. If you feel Kanu is a criminal, get your proof and show the world. Why are you hiding? Show your proof. Guys, there is no proof that he's a terrorist. So why then keep him there? Why not keep him there? You see the tactics they are using to delay him, thinking that he will back out. But he's always looking stronger and stronger, fresh every time. Look at where Nnamdi Kanu entered in court. Look at how fresh he looks. If people were thinking that he would look like one skeleton or bone because of the trauma and everything, but he's still strong. Take a look. This man has suffered in detention. I'm just trying to show you guys a clip of what Nnamdi Kanu looks like as of yesterday. People were thinking that he will have no life in him by now. That was what they were thinking, but sorry to say that he's still strong. And we know that Nnamdi Kanu will soon leave that place. He has suffered in detention. Nnamdi Kanu has really suffered in detention. And we pray by God's grace Kanu will be out of there. Yes, because the lawyers have said that since, they have actually accepted that the lawyer has postponed it. And then on the 10th of October, 10th of October will decide. 10th of October will decide if Kanu will be released or not. And guys, I'll be here again to tell you guys of, so many things or so many, controversies surrounding Kanu's case. So don't miss out any of my live session, guys, because I'll be here to always update you guys. So if you're new to this channel, hit that subscribe button, like, so that you'll be notified whenever we drop update like this. So guys, the Nnamdi Kanu's legal team said if he's not released, if Nnamdi Kanu, if they don't release him on the 10th of October, that they will start their own defense. They will bring in documents, audio to prove Kanu's innocence. They will even bring in international witnesses to prove Kanu's innocent, so that you can see what is happening. And we pray that they release Nnamdi Kanu on the 10th of October, or else if they don't release him, if Nigerian government knows what what is good for themselves, they should release him on the 10th of October, or less they will face problem. In fact, it's not gonna be a small thing, guys, because they're going to get it back to back. Because in fact, his legal team said that they were going to come prepared to prove Kanu's innocence, that he's not a terrorist. In fact, he said that all this while that Kanu's trial has been on, that they have not brought any witness or enter defense. But this time, if on 10th of October, if they don't release him, then they'll start their defense, and they're going to come prepared to prove Kanu's innocence. So guys, we've come to the end of this live session. Do you want to hit that subscribe button? Put down your thoughts under the comment section. Thank you for joining me in this live session. Thank you for staying with me. Thank you so much, guys, and I'll see you guys next time.